We have to stop sitting here and acting like we can't do anything. Because if you're here, then you know you're special. You know that you are in a place where you've realized you don't need anything but your inner knowing, your intuition, to tell you that the world is not the way it's supposed to be. I don't know about y'all, but I like to get into my workout gear to make sure that I actually work out. That increases the chances of me actually making it to the gym. So today's impromptu, and essentially what kept hitting me, I took shrooms last night, to be quite honest, because I had extra. I took it to microdose with my friends, when they were here for New Year's, but then I was like, well, let me go on a trip. And I'm like, universe, higher self, just give me the answers to the world. And I didn't get what I expected, but I think that's kind of normal, because you can put out an intention and have certain things that you want and get a different answer than you're expecting. So today's quote is coming from me. I felt the need to share this, but we are so powerful. My quote of the day is, "The fate of our world lies within your ability to recognize your power." Plain and simple. We have to stop sitting here and acting like we can't do anything. And for the longest in my life, I felt like I've had this purpose. If you're here, you probably feel the same way. But then you know you're special. You know that you are in a place where you've realized, you've understood, you don't need anything but your inner knowing, your intuition, to tell you that the world is not the way it's supposed to be. And to tell you that you have the ability to be a part of that change. And to tell you that you've been sent here, literally, to be a part of the transition. And I sound so cryptic, but you don't need evidence to feel that things are not supposed to be the way they are. You can look around. Actually, there's plenty of evidence, to be quite honest. You don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need a book. You don't need an expert, a scientist, to let you know that Earth, it ain't hidden. I told my friend the other day, I said, we had a conversation and we were kind of talking about, living life. And a lot of my friends at this point, they're like, yeah, like shit sucks. I say we just live our life. We try to enjoy it in the ways that we can, and we die when we die. She's like, I don't think I want to have kids because I don't want to bring kids into this world because it's terrible. But my thing is, it doesn't matter if it's my kid that's in this world. Somebody is having kids. There are children that are being born every day. There are generations that are going to exist. Just because my child isn't going to live there, at least we could want to create a better world for the children of the earth. Because there will always be another generation after us. I'm telling you right now, step into your purpose. Step into it. Because you are here for a reason. You feel called for a reason. I feel called to do this video because I have gotten to a point in my life where I see the power in humanity that has been dulled down by the environment that we live in. Now, I don't know who these forces are, who it is that wants to trap us spiritually in this cycle of violence and pain, but that is what exists, and that is what needs to change. And as long as we continue to feel powerless, it's not going to end. As long as we continue to stay isolated and not connect with each other and not create community that's going to help us create a plan of action, this will continue to exist. Just sitting at the level of understanding yourself, it starts with ourselves, going inwards and being able to truly listen to yourself, to your intuition, to your higher self, and live based on that is rebellion in itself. We have media, propaganda, music, all these things that are tapping into our subconscious. You can look it up yourself, but I'm not here to prove anything to you. I'm just telling you that's based on what I know to be true, based on my own research, my own inner knowing. Once you realize that you have this power, you're going to start living day to day like you can make an impact. you're taking the small steps. For me, I don't have a following. I don't have that many people watching my content, but I know that this information needs to be shared. One person being told that they are powerful, one person being told that they can do anything in this world, I'm talking to you, changes so much. We have so many people telling us the opposite, trying to convince us that one person doesn't do anything in a crowd of 1 million. But to get to 1 million, it starts with one person. I'm just saying. You getting my drift? During this shroom trip last night, I got an overwhelming sense of the matrix that we live in. And everyone has their own idea of what it's called, like simulation, matrix. It's real, but it's only what we make it. It's vibrations. When I was on this trip, I'm seeing geometry, the sacred geometry that makes up our world. Everything is just geometric shapes. It's pulsating in the walls, in the carpet, in the fabric. And specifically, this symbol, which I should maybe do some more research on. I don't know if y'all watch Charmed, but the Trinity? No. Whoa, I have to look this up. It was the Trinity, but it's also this shape, 6 sides, and it loops. I'll add it. But you know what? Was so crazy? When, I wish I could remember right now. I'll insert it later. But when I saw that shape as a child, like, you doodle in your art journals and you create stars and stuff like that. Me and my friend were so obsessed with drawing this symbol. But at the time, we had no idea what it meant. We were just like, oh my gosh, we created a new, cute figure. Turns out, it's a fucking geometric symbol that has to do so much with the universe's makeup. And I just learned this a couple months ago, and I was like, whoa. That just shows you, even as a kid, you have all the knowledge of this world within you. And although we're here and we can't remember, that doesn't mean that it's not ingrained. I hope I'm making sense. A lot of this doesn't make sense. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, I couldn't tell you why the world is the way it is. I couldn't tell you who the forces are. As I said earlier, I couldn't tell you what the goal is. To dull us down, to be a slave to humanity. Humanity and our earth could be so beautiful. But sometimes I sit here and I wonder, what is their end goal? What is the purpose of enslavement? To benefit off something that's going to last a lifetime? And if the idea of reincarnation is really enslavement, that we're not supposed to reincarnate here over and over and over again into this cycle, what is that doing for the person who's causing all this subliminal messaging, causing all this psychological conditioning? I would love to hear in the comments if y'all have any thoughts on that, because I don't. I feel like I'm searching for answers, and there's a level of truth that I can find that makes me aware of the horrendous things that happen on this earth. But even the answers to the reasons behind it don't make sense. Let's say they want eternal life. We are eternal beings. Do you want eternal life on this earth because there are consequences that you would have to deal with if you actually passed away? Are you transferring your soul into another body so that you can live eternally on this earth, so you keep postponing the consequences that would occur if you actually became a soul in the universe? Or is this a whole another subset of interdimensional beings that are doing this to humans? I don't know. There are so many theories and so many different possibilities. Whatever it is, there's a problem. And the problem continues within our slave mentality and not releasing our minds from the shackles of this world, from the shackles of sheep. I don't like to say that, but sheep mentality, the shackles of thinking that this is okay, thinking that we have to live out our lives like this, thinking that we're not powerful, godlike beings. I mean, I'm not here to tell anyone like what to believe. That's just what I believe. And everyone's having spiritual awakenings on their own times. And I want to speak to the people who are there because it's about time. We need to start connecting. I recently thought about revolution and what that looks like. Revolution is not just an uprising. It's not just a revolt. It's not just a riot. It is a breakdown of every single system that we live in. And that takes time and that takes gradual change. It can happen faster, but we have to realize one strike is not enough. We need to tap into each sector: finances, capitalism. You know, where can we hit that would hurt the most? Probably taxes. Literally, spiritually, that's the subsector. When are we going to stop letting religion dictate your love and compassion for certain people? I know that's very nuanced, but the divisiveness of racism, sexism, xenophobia, homophobia, all those things are literally holding us back. We need to get past it. Like, we need to move on because we are all enslaved, every single one of us. I'm so sorry, but one enslavement may look better than the other, and that is the point. To be so tapped in and so focused on who's black and white, who's from this country, who's from that country, who's gay, who's lesbian, like, who gives a fuck? Back to subsectors. We have farming, food, the food industry. I think it's happening. It's starting to happen. We're starting to see that we need to grow our own food. We are not safe eating the things that the government gives us, that's provided to us. And slowly farmers have been pushed out of the scene. Individual farmers, black farmers, those who didn't rely on mass production with pesticides and bad GMOs. I'm not saying all GMOs are bad, but like things that are actually going to negatively affect us. We have quantum physics, which no one hears enough about. We need to increase our knowledge of basic living, the basic tenets of this world. Things that would help us during a revolution, things that will allow us to transfer from a world that relies on its government, that relies on its stealing from us, that relies on its psychological conditioning of us. We have to understand, while it looks like we rely on the government, they rely on us more. So what we need to do is gather our skills and come together. Now, I'm thinking, I kind of mentioned it on my TikTok briefly, but I wanted to start a podcast. There's a level of this kind of work that feels like it has to be, I don't want to say hidden, but strategic. Because we know shadow banning is a thing. We know people get killed for sharing certain information. We know people create communities that go disappear because they're trying to create such huge change like this. I want to create this podcast and I won't name it because it's such a cute name and I just don't want anyone to steal it. But I want it to be about sharing information. But I also, on the other hand, want it to be about creating a community of people that truly want to make a change, truly want to start building skills, building plans, building the blueprint of what a better America we could start with, what better world would look like in general. We may not know anything better than capitalism. As people say, it's the best thing we've had so far. Maybe it's something that doesn't exist yet. Maybe it's something that hasn't been coined that is the right way to create society. And there's this page on TikTok that I'm following, and I want to join their Discord, but I'll tell you, it's called It's Time to Unite. You should look them up. And they just give viewpoints of what this world could look like. Like, are we tired? Are y'all tired yet? I am so tired of it. It's like we all have dreams and passions and creativity that we want to express and pursue. And it shouldn't be that hard to do it. It shouldn't be as hard as it is to do it in this world. And I often looked around like, okay, well, is somebody going to do something? Is somebody going to do something? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's you. We need to stop looking and saying, well, what's the plan? We have to make it. We have to start, because change starts in the mirror. So I'm going to end it there. But I would love to hear you guys' comments. I would love to hear some ideas. You know, when I was thinking about this podcast, I'm like, maybe we could create this mailing list that isn't just a virtual newsletter. It's a physical newsletter, or we could talk about plans and meeting up on a human to human level. You know what I mean? It would provide less tracing, less tracking of information, of ideas, of plans. And it would also provide a level of, like, I don't want to say exclusivity, but I feel more comforted by receiving a letter than like an email. You know, it feels like a physical, tangible thing that would allow us to, you know, communicate. As I said, the fate of the world lies in our ability to recognize our power, and the longer it takes us, the more we have to suffer through the world that we live in today. I hope that didn't make y'all too sad, because it is kind of sad. It's kind of upsetting. We have the power. I've got the power. We have the power to change it. So please, you know, give it a like, give this channel a subscribe. I would love to pump this kind of conversation out. Like, life is deep. Life is very deep. And the more we have these conversations, the more we contribute to opening people's minds to the greatness of their beings, I think the more change is going to happen. I'm convinced of that. At this point, I've changed my mentality. I used to have that mentality where I'm like, well, I'm only one person. Like, somebody will do it. No, it's going to be me. It's going to be you. We are all going to do it. We all have to put a foot in, and we all have to work together. Knowing that I have the ability to impact and the ability to change is all that I need to continue pushing out this content and creating this community, which I hope you become a part of. By the way, never told y'all my name. I am Deirdre Monet Lambright. And my channel is really about inspiring and motivating people to understand their power, to understand that they can create whatever reality they want, to understand that we all have the ability to create beautiful and amazing things in this world. And that as we do that, and we lean into love and compassion and creationism in this world, like, it's gonna do wonders. That's what I truly believe. So come along for the ride. I also do a little self-care on the side. You know, there's a balance in life. I love to create my space, create peace and tranquility, because the world is a mess. So to be able to do this kind of work, to be able to create change, you have to be good in here. And that means truly taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. So yeah, I'm still learning myself. So it's kind of like a journey where we can learn together. I have a blog, and that's where I share a lot of my recipes, making homemade candles, you know, with aromatherapy in them, morning energy shots, trying to replace things that aren't so great for our body, like caffeine and coffee, causing addiction, with more natural things that can also give you energy in a way that is not harming ourselves, is not feeding into the negative food system, food industry that we already are a part of. But please, like, this is really the video. Like, I've already made about 3 or 4, but this is an important one that I want people to see, and I want people to comment on, because I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear ideas. I want to hear what you think needs to be talked about more, what should be researched more. I'm on a plan to read a lot this year. I've read a book about time, quantum physics a little bit, because it's very interesting to me, but I'm trying to read things that will help me have the skills and understand what it really does look like to have a true revolution in this world, a true spark of change. You know, read what people have done in the past, read history to create something new, to create tangible difference. And if you guys want me to share those books with you, or even share like, you know, little reviews after I'm done, giving synopsis of what I've learned, I would love to do that too, but just let me know. So yeah, happy Sunday. I hope you guys have a good day. If I stressed you out after this video, I'm so sorry. Go ahead and meditate, do something good for your soul. I'm about to eat dinner. All right, love y'all. Bye.